day, everyone. I'm recording this part of our lesson, which we did not complete last time. So I'll be discussing two things for this recording, and then I'll split it into another recording. So for this one, it's just a review of model evaluation. We have discussed this, and then model comparison. So let's start. So we have already discussed five models, five machine learning models. You have uh, uh, linear OLS, linear regression. You have decision tree. You have random forest. You have XGBoost. You have support vector regression, and you have ANN. Sorry, it's six, including the OLS. So the question is, how do we determine how do we evaluate each of the algorithms? So we already discussed this last time, and we said that uh, what's important is for us to determine what are the prediction errors. The prediction errors is defined by the difference between our actual value and our predicted value. Of course, our predicted value will be based on the testing model. If you recall, how did we go about our process? We we created the model, whether it's the decision tree or random forest or extreme gradient boost using the training data set. And then once we have created the model, we then predict using the testing data set, and the uh, that's now where we compute for our prediction error. So we have the test data set, actual data set, minus the predicted data set. So that's our prediction error. So we discussed this last time. This will be a very short description, just a review. We looked at the root mean square error, the Ramsey, and how did we compute for this? It's simply squared errors. So this is the actual value, actual test values, minus your predicted values, square it, and then we add it up and then get the mean, 1 over n of the sum of all your squared errors, and then get the root. Okay, that's your Ramsey. And of course, we know that the lower the Ramsey, the better. Okay, so for example, we already did our artificial neural network, and we have the actual data. Our actual data is our test ML. Okay, you have our test machine learning data, and then we extract the target variable there. Okay, and then your predicted, which is the model that we generated, ANN pred. Okay, we did this last time. So the function is just get the Ramsey. The Ramsey requires that you give the actual data and the predicted data. So if you run this, that will be the Ramsey of your ANN. Okay, and print it. So we have 0.005557.2. Okay, so this has no meaning unless you benchmark it with the other models. And then just do the same with your XGBoost, with your decision tree, with your random forest, with your OLS. Okay, so we'll do that later, but we're just looking at the process by which we do this. So I think you know this already because this is just a review. And then we have also the mean absolute error here. Mean absolute error, as the name suggests, class, very easy to show the formula. It's again your error, okay? Y sub I minus Y hat sub I, and then absolute. So you get the absolute absolute value, and then get the sum. We sum up all the difference between the actual value and the predicted value, and just get the absolute value of that, and then get the average. Okay, so that's your mean absolute error. So we said last time it really depends on which is more important? Is it Ramsey or MAE? Each has its own importance. Okay, so the MAE, as we said, computes the mean absolute error between your observed and your predicted values. Okay, so last time we said that MAE is an error measure, and then it will be actually smaller than your smaller values, meaning that the smaller values indicate better forecasting performance also. Now, if you compare this with your Ramsey, MAE is less sensitive to large forecasting errors. And the reason for that is based on the formula, you just get the difference between your actual and your predicted value. While for your Ramsey, what you do is, as shown in the formula, you square your residuals. So those with bigger residuals contribute more to the Ramsey. Okay, so if you have unusually large, let's say, outliers or predictions that are really out of the actual values, then you'll have your Ramsey to be a bit higher than your MAE. Okay, so once again here, the function is MAE. So I'm creating MAE underscore ANN, and then you again define your actual data and your predicted value. Okay, and then when you run this, you'll get now your MAE to be 0.00366. Now again, is this good or bad? Okay, we cannot determine this. We cannot analyze this in isolation. It has to be compared with your other algorithms and try to see which our algorithms will generate the lower MAE. Okay, and lastly, we have the coefficient of determination R squared. And we said that the coefficient of determination allows us to determine how much of the variability of your predictor, of your variable of interest, in our case, it's our target variable, is being explained by our model. And we took a look at the formula last time. It's the ratio between this is y sub I minus y hat. This is your residuals. Residual squared, residuals coming from your model. This is the actual minus the predicted value squared. And then y sub I minus y bar. This is your benchmark. Okay. So this is the model that you use without using your target variables. So you're just using your y value itself. Okay, this one makes use of a algorithm. So this is your total variation. So if you get the ratio between the predicted and the total, this will now give you your explained variation. Okay, and then 100% minus your explained variation will give you your unexplained variation. Okay, so it explains to us, it tells us how much of the variability of our dependent variable cannot be explained by our model. Okay, so in the case of R squared, the higher the better. Okay, because R squared, unlike Ramsey and MAE, where the lower the better, R squared, on the other hand, the higher the better, because we're taking a look at the sorry, one minus, one minus, this is your unexplained, I stand corrected, sorry, I get confused a while ago. This is your unexplained variation, because this is your, this is the residual, this is the error. This is what cannot be explained by your model. So 1 minus your unexplained variance will be your explained variance. So that's why the higher the R squared, the better. Okay. All right. So just like now, this one will just use core, the correlation between your test actual value and then your predicted value, and then square it. Okay, R squared is simply correlation squared. All right, so if we run this, we get 0.00221. That means that 0.22% of the variability of your target variable can be explained by A and N. Okay, all right, so there's another one that I'm including here, the directional accuracy. So what's the directional accuracy? Directional accuracy class means, suppose, let me just put an example. Suppose the actual value is 0.0, let's say 0.35. Okay, and then your forecast is 0.5. 0.5. Now notice the forecast is 0.5. The actual value is 0.35. We're taking a look at the returns. So in terms of directional accuracy, it means that they have the same signs, no? Plus and plus. Okay, so that's okay in terms of directional accuracy because the model is predicting the returns to have positive, the returns to be positive. Okay, this is positive returns, this is positive. Now, suppose on the other hand, you have this other model 0.35, and then this is negative 0.36. Okay, negative. If you take a look at the figures, 0.035, this is negative 0.36, then in terms of absolute plus absolute value, then this is very close, right? 0.035 and 0.36, quite close if you just disregard the sign. Okay, however, class it's negative. This one is positive. So it tells us, class, that this is further actually. It's very far from the actual because the actual is positive and the prediction is negative. Okay, so that's what this directional accuracy measures. Okay, it takes a look, it compares the actual value, whether it's positive or negative, and then the predicted value. Okay, so let's take a look at the formula for the directional accuracy. So take a look at this, it's a ratio. Directional accuracy is equal to number of correct directional forecasts. Okay, so you count how many is in our sample size, for example. If it's 100, let's say there are what total of 100 forecasts because there are total of 100 observations for our testing data set, example only. Okay, so if we have total of 100 observations, and let's say that 80 of them predicted correctly the sign. Okay, we're not talking of the value, but rather the sign. Plus, plus, that's one count. Plus, minus, minus, that's one count. Okay, plus actual negative yung prediction. Okay, that will not be counted because that's a wrong observation. Okay, wrong direction. Okay, so you get the total number of correct directional forecast, and then total number of forecast. So in this case, it's 80%. So that tells us that 80% of the predictions were correctly predicted as far as regards the sign. Okay? So how do you compute for that? Ito lang, class, no? Directional accuracy. So you're testing the sign of your predicted value. All right? So you're getting the average sign of your predicted value then is equal to sign of your actual value. Okay? Test ML target. And then you get the average. You get the average of this. Let's run this first, for example. You have already unpredicted control C. I'm going to run it here, control V. Okay, sign of the predicted value. Okay, take a look at that class. All in all, you have 436. So the signs are positive and negative, right? Positive, negative sign. Okay, and then this one, how about the actual value? Control C. Then control V. Okay. So what do we have here? Also the sign. This is your actual value. Okay, and then it will take a look at what is equal. For example, the first here is negative, and the first one here is, okay, let's take a look at that. We could have created a data frame, positive. Okay, so they're not equal, right? They're not equal. So that means that this will generate now a zero value, okay, because they're not equal. If they're equal, then it will count, okay? It will count. So the one here, the first value here for our predicted is 1. The first value here for our actual is -1. Are they equal? Then that's false, right? Or 0. So what will happen is that all those that are the same, say negative, negative, that will be counted, positive, positive, that will be counted. So we get all of that. It will count how many are the same, how many has the same sign, and then we will divide it by the total number of forecasts. What is the total number of forecasts? 400 something. 433, 34, 35, 36. 436. So everything, all the correct predictions divided by 436, that will now give you your directional accuracy. So in this case, if I run this, there's around 54%. 54% of the forecasts were correctly specified as regards the sign or the direction. So that's what we call directional accuracy. And we can use that in order to compare the algorithms. Okay, so that's quickly the review class of our of our model evaluation. We have R squared, RAMSI, MAE, and what I added here is DA, directional accuracy. Okay, let's now go here. Let's compare now the different values, the different algorithms that we have. Okay, so let's just have a quick review. Remember, we generated this data, train machine learning and test machine learning. Make sure that you have those data. And then we created models. You have the OLS model, the tree model for your decision tree, the random forest model, the extreme gradient boosting model, the SVR model, and the ANN model. Okay, I already posted the video for those of you who were not able to attend last time. The video discussing SVR and ANN are already posted. And then after we created the models class, we predicted the values. Okay, we said I kept on mentioning to you before that we have to predict the value because the predicted values will now be compared to the actual values, and that will be the basis of computing for the RAMSI, for the MAE, for the R squared. Okay. Now, of course, why do we compare machine learning models? Okay, because ML algorithms learn from data in different ways. For example, si linear regression. Ang ginagawa ng linear regression, nag-estimate siya ng linear relationship. Si decision tree, hindi, di ba? Nag-create siya ng isang space ng mga trees. Actually, isang tree lang, no? Okay, isang tree lang siya, and then there are different nodes there. Tapos si random forest naman, you have several trees. Diba? Tapos iba-ibang results sila, tapos ina-average lang yung pinaka-result. Okay? And then si XGBoost naman, wala si XGBoost dito, sorry. Sa XGBoost class, sorry, hindi ko nalagay XGBoost dito. Si XGBoost class, ang ginagawa, class 3 din siya, no? Pero sequential yung tree natin. Si random forest, diba, independent yung mga trees. And then last time we discussed SVR, support vector regression. Ang importante dito, I hope you watch the video, yung kernel, no? Kernel function. And lastly, yung A and N. But hindi ko yata nalagay A and N dito. Anyway, so ito yung mga algorithms natin. Okay? So what do we do now? We will now, okay, create a model class. Magkakreate tayo ng function. Okay? Let's call it evaluate model. And then we're going to create a function. Ano ilalagay natin dun? Ilalagay natin yung model name, ilalagay natin yung actual value at saka predicted value. Okay? So ano laman ng natin ng evaluate model? Ito siya, no? First magkakreate tayo ng data frame. Ang laman niya yung model name, okay? Yung Ramsey, ano yung Ramsey? Ramsey actual comma predicted. Notice that this is a function, no? Ramsey, di ba? Actual predicted. Si MAE din, actual predicted. Si R squared naman, correlation ng actual at predicted, tapos squared. Tapos yung directional accuracy naman, 100 times yung ginawa natin kanina, average ng sign ng actual is equal to sign ng predicted. Okay? So these are actually, this class are functions. No? Ang tawag natin sa function na ito, yung model name is, yung model is equal to model name. Yung Ramsey class, okay? Ang mangyayari dito class, i-define natin kung ano yung actual at saka ano yung predicted. So, yung actual pare-pareho lang naman, di ba? Yun yung target natin sa TestML. Yung predicted, magbabago-bago. RF pred, etc., etc. Okay? So, let's run this. So, meron na tayong evaluate model, no? Tingnan natin evaluate model natin. Ano laman ng evaluate? Okay. Hindi ko makita yung ano. What is inside our evaluate model? Let's take a look at this. Nag-create tayo ng evaluate model class ito. So ito siya, no? Nasa function siya. Okay? If I click this class, ano laman niya? Asa na yung evaluate model ko? Yan. This one class. So nag-create tayo ng sarili nating model, sariling function, evaluate model. Ang gagawin na lang natin class, papalitan natin yung model name, i-define natin actual at saka yung predicted value. Okay? So in other words, evaluate model tapos open and close parenthesis, yung model name, yung actual value at saka predicted value. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. If you take a look at this now, kailangan ilalagay natin class yung predicted value natin, ano? Okay. Alright, tingnan nyo to. Huh? So first, yung LM results natin. Let's create this object called LM results. Ano laman niya, class? Evaluate model. Okay? Tapos, di ba, tatlong parameters yung kailangan ilagay natin. Number one, yung model name. Linear regression. And then, ano yung actual? Our actual is TestML target. So we have the same actual data for all the algorithms, no? TestML target, and then ito ngayon yung predicted natin, LM predicted. So that goes the same for, that's the same for sa decision tree. Diba? Anong pangalan? Model name, decision tree. Tapos ano yung actual? Ito yung actual. Tapos ito yung predicted, tree pred. So we do the same for all the models, pati yung SBR at saka yung ANN. Okay? So ginamit natin yung evaluate model na create natin sa taas dito. That we created here. This one. Nag-create tayo. Yung evaluate model na to, ang sabi, function, tapos maglagay ng tatlong inputs, model name, actual, at saka predicted. Tapos, anong gagawin niya? Ito yon class. Whatever model name you put here, and then i-compute yung Ramsey. Ramsey nang nakadefine dito kung ano yung actual, nakadefine din kung ano yung predicted. MAE, nakadefine ko yung actual, diba? So, kunyari, LM class, LM pred. So, lahat class, i-compute niya. Yung Ramsey, yung MAE, yung R-squared, at saka yung directional efficiency. Okay? So, it's here class. It's here sa baba. Ibibigay ko tong code na to, no? So, magkakaroon tayo ng LM results, tree results, RF results, XGB results. Okay. In other words, all the models, all the algorithms that we did, class, i-compute niya lahat. Yung Ramsey, yung R-squared, yung MAE. Okay? And then, I'm going to run this. There. Okay. So, kung titignan natin, for example, to, LM results. Tingnan natin na LM results. Ano laman ng LM results? Here. Okay. Tingnan nyo ha. Ano laman ito? O, di ba yung model name? Ano pa? Yung Ramsey, yung MAE, yung R-squared, at yung directional accuracy. So all of that, kasi yun ang linagay natin sa code dun sa evaluate model. No? Okay, so we have the results now for all these 6 algorithms. So we now combine them, mag-bind rows sa tayo. No? Pagsama-sama natin si LM results, tree results, etc. Okay? Ayan. Row bind na to. No? So we're going to pagsasama natin yung model name, LM, linear regression, etc. So if we run this class, here, if I run this is what I have. Yung first column natin yung model, second column yung Ramsey, third yung MAE, tapos yung R-squared, tapos yung directional accuracy. Okay? Andyan lahat class ng models, tapos yung mga computation ng mga metrics natin. And then, mag-flex table na lang ako dito. Flex table here. All right? And you can see here the result para mas kita natin. Okay, here class. Here is our model, linear regression, decision tree, random forest, XGBoost. Okay. Tingnan natin class sa Ramsey. Sa Ramsey, sino yung pinaka-okay? Okay. Ramsey, pinaka-okay so far si random forest, no? 0.044. Si ANN, mataas, 0.056. No? Sa MAE class, sinong mas okay? Turns out that si random forest ang mas pinaka-mataas sa MAE, 0.033. R-squared, sa R-squared class, ang pinaka magandang magbigay ng explanation, si random forest pa rin. Ganun din class sa sa directional accuracy. Okay? So it turns out that parang si random forest so far, no, sa mga nakita natin dito, siya yung pinakamaganda among all the consistent siya, no? Consistent among sa Ramsey, MAE, R-squared, at saka sa directional accuracy. So, as far as this, our data is concerned, as far as predicting yung USD PHP, yung returns niya is concerned, pinakamaganda si random forest. Okay, and alam naman natin, class, na very powerful talaga din si random forest. No? Iba lang yung iba din yung sa XGBoost, iba din sa SVR, at saka iba din sa artificial neural network. Okay? So, all right. So let me just end here. Okay. So yung comparison table natin, it summarizes the forecasting performance of all the 6 models. When comparing competing forecasting models, several considerations should be taken into account. Number 1, smaller Ramsey, syempre smaller forecasting errors. Smaller MAE indicate better average forecasting accuracy. Larger R squared indicate greater explanatory power. Larger directional accuracy indicate that the model more frequently predicts the correct direction of the market movement. Okay? All right. Then, rather than focusing on a single evaluation measure, analysts should consider all performance measures. So, hindi lang dapat yung isa. All right. So, selecting the best forecasting model involves balancing several competing objectives. Nagkataon lang, class, na dito, panay si random forest. But there will be times, and many times, na hindi sila pare-pareho. Okay? So, yun ang kailangan ng judgment na. Okay, consequently, analysts should evaluate forecasting models using performance measures rather than relying on a single statistic. Sa financial forecasting, the preferred model depends on the objectives of the analysis. Kasi pwedeng kunyari, yung Ramsey, mas maganda si random forest. Pero dun sa R squared, mas maganda si XGBoost. Ngayon, ang tanong, ano yung pipiliin doon? Okay? So different machine learning algorithms may produce substantially different forecasting performance. All right. Okay, so let me stop here.